parts of the lives of Jimmy and Grace and some of the people who have been part of the life of James and Grace. And we would like to call forth one of those who's traveled many, many years with James and Grace Boggs, Freddie Payne, to describe radical foundations as you see on the program. But we would like Pat to give us some perspective on this theme, the radical foundations of the lives of James and Grace Boggs.
I too am a speech teacher and all those things, and I'm not very brief, so knowing that, I'm going to try to be real brief. I guess part of my role is as a historian. You know, Jimmy and Grace were very important to me in one particular part of my life. One, Jimmy is the godfather of me and John's son, Robert. You saw him up here. But when it came time for me to do something that was very difficult in a black woman's life, and that is to receive her dissertation, her PhD, it was very important that I speak about something that I knew about. And what did I know about is NOR, the National Organization of America for the American Revolution, and Jimmy and Grace. So as a historian, basically my role here is to lead us through this long period of involvement of Jimmy and Grace. And they have been around a long time. And I mean that in terms of the history of their lives being woven in the very fibers of American political thought. What I want to say at this point in introducing the radical revolutionary foundations is the one thing that Jimmy and Grace taught all of us who were under their tutelage is that ideas don't fall out of the air. They come from some place. And the roots, the radical and revolutionary roots of Jimmy and Grace come out of some very important people, and I can't name them all, and Freddie will talk about some of them. But we have to know their involvement with CLR James, who we as a community and country just eulogized last year. Their role in the Socialist Workers' Party, their involvement in radical politics has been so important. But most of what I want to say is that people think of, when they think of the roots of radical or the roots of ideas, they think of people like Plato and Aristotle. But there are those of us, when we think of where ideas come from, the source of ideas of radical political thought, we think of Jimmy and Grace. More specifically, this period in their lives that we're about to revisit is a period where everyone was loving their Russian Revolution. They were waiting for the workers to take over the United States. Waiting for the workers. And then these few folks came forth and said, if you wait for the white workers, you'll be waiting for the rest of your lives in America, because there's a permanent underclass in America that no one has addressed. And that underclass is that sleeping giant in CLR James's language. And that is the Negro people ready to rise up. So the radical foundations begin with people like Freddie Payne,